Hello everyone, this is Lockeneye, and welcome back to the Great Build YouTube channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at some stuff in the LEGO City. In particular, we're going to be taking a look at a 4 Plus set that was previously in the city that I have modified to make it look more complete, and used most of my pieces to do this. Now, I won't be able to give you a walkthrough of as the project was commencing, because this took multiple days worth of planning and multiple days of building to actually complete. So, you will not really get to see me as I build this, but there will be a section where I showcase the city changing later on with some other buildings I have to add. So let's start over here with the police station. Now this is a massive build. It is larger than every other building in the city that I've already placed in terms of its square footage. However, it does only have one story. I made this so that you could technically land police airplanes and police helicopters on the rooftop. Well, it doesn't make much sense for it to work like that. It is kind of just a good place for me to store stuff. And, of course, this is based off the 4 Plus police station that was in the city, and that is very abundantly clear based on the way the front is looking. I actually just added more walls all the way around, kept the sloped roof, and kept the stripe of highlighter yellow color in there. Now, I did keep pretty much everything the same, but the differences are really on the inside of this build, which we'll take a look at in a minute. I decided to move the prison cells over here. I didn't want them to be, like, in the middle of the city, so that way it wouldn't be, you know, in your face. And I also put, like, a little safe behind here as, like, a place for the police to store their valuables or to store contraband if they do end up picking some up. Now, as I mentioned in prior videos, this city is meant to be heavily Ninjago themed, so the police really don't have to do that much. It's mostly the ninja team that does take care of this. But the policemen are still around to help make sure that everyone does the right thing, and also just to make sure that there is good traffic security. For, as examples shown here, right now there's construction being done over by the beach, so there's a police car redirecting the traffic. This is still an important part of any LEGO city, but for now, let's take a look at the interior to show you all the things that you can fit inside of this massive building. This is the interior to the police station. Now you can see it connects the roof onto the top of this by 6 separate studs, so it's easily removable, but still secure on the top of the police station. It has 2 separate sections down the bottom. You can see there's the section for the garage here, and also the section over here for the policemen to hang out and be ready for their next mission. There are multiple entrances to the police station. There's that little gate, the garage, which you saw from the outside. There's also a door from here on that side as well for policemen to easily get out into the main street. Also, there's a double door over here by the main square. There's also doors into the garage, of course, because you would want them to be able to access their cars. In here currently, I have a small police motorcycle and a new police car for the LEGO City, which is from the police car and muscle car chase, which I got for $20, and it's a set that I would highly recommend picking up. Here's what the other car in that set looks like, and it's just a standard lime green car. I like it personally because it has like snake scales. It feels like a Ninjago set, so it feels like it would fit in this city. But this police car obviously would be used for more high-speed chases and not your everyday police stuff, so that's why it's here inside the police station at the ready. Now, I could fit other police cars from this city, like these 2 in here as well, but I think for now this is the correct types of cars to have in here. Overall, that's pretty much the entire interior. I wanted to make sure the jail cells were only accessible from the outside, so that way it's not like they're right in your face, because I would like to imagine that most of the people in my LEGO City are nice and don't get in trouble and don't get put in jail like that. Plus, in-universe, this is part of the world of Ninjago, based on the canon I've created for this city. Now, that just means that there's a bigger prison, essentially. You don't need a big prison here. Now, I'm going to put the roof back on this, and then we'll take a look at the next building. The next building we're adding to the LEGO City is the Town Hall, which is a modified version of Emma's art school from LEGO Friends that I modified to have less elements that made it feel like a school, and now it kind of just acts as my town hall. Now, I moved it over to this location because you can obviously see from the main street that it has a very majestic looking view down at the end of the street, and behind which you'll see the LEGO City Forest selection, which is going to be very much a scenic approach to this. Now, over here at the end of the street here, you can see that I made it so that it's more of like a turnaround circle, so you can easily turn your cars around here. And I may make room for more police cars to park on the outside of the street, because they're really all over the place at this point. But you'll see one of the problems with this building, and most LEGO buildings these days, is there's no back wall. And this can be good for buildings when they're up against a wall or if you want to get into them, but it's annoying when you have multiple display angles in a LEGO city. You'll see for the buildings that are inside the middle of the city, it doesn't really matter that much because it kind of just blends in with the other buildings next to it, and most of the time you won't even see the interiors. But for this building, as well as the next two buildings we're adding in this episode, you'll see that there's definitely no back to this building. So, what does a LEGO builder do when something doesn't exist? Well, you basically just take matters into your own hands and you put something together yourself. So here I've created the back for this building just to feature some tan and white bricks together, and it just creates the illusion of a back wall to the building. Additionally, it should probably be mentioned that this only connects on a clip and some studs at the bottom, so it's easy to remove if I want to get into the interior. And the same will go for these next two buildings we're looking at over here. Now, we have the other two buildings of the LEGO Creator Main Street set that I picked up, which is the coffee shop, and down there we have the little yellow and orange building, which is the record shop. This covers the pretty much end of the selections of buildings on this side, but you'll see they have the same problem. They've got open backs, and it really doesn't look good, especially with the train station that I start my videos at right here. So, I'm just gonna, build some more custom backs to these, using the same color palette and same shape palette of the buildings. So, we have a small yellow wall for the back of the record shop, and it has a little vent piece built into it, which is nice. And for the other store over here, the coffee shop and cafe, we have the same exact thing, but this time built with the colors of this building. And there we go. Now all the buildings that I've added in today's video have proper backs to them, so that way they don't look ugly from the other sides. Now, you might have seen this earlier in the video, which is something interesting I've been doing. We have the construction vehicles all over here because they're doing their work, which is great. And it's a more improved version of the boardwalk, essentially. It's just an enjoyable part of the LEGO City for the civilians to enjoy, but I wanted to have safety railings so you don't wander off into the ocean or wander onto the railroad tracks. And of course, in a future video, I'll be tiling all of the water off with some transparent blue tile. Same for the river on the other side of the city display. So after looking at all the stuff in the city today, you might be wondering what's next, and why on earth is the camera over in the empty spot of the city right now? And that is because the next episode in the LEGO City, we're going to be taking a look at some things to add a farm to the other side of the river here. And that's going to be important because I grew up loving farm animals, specifically chickens, and would love to add that aspect to the city. And while I could add stuff to the other parts of the actual city, I feel like we need to pay some attention to the other parts of the LEGO display here. So in the next episode, we're going to be taking a look at some of the builds that I've had for a while, and also taking a look at some of the other things I'd like to use in this LEGO farm setup. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Feel free to stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you all have a great day.